In a small village nestled between golden savanna grasslands and dusty footpaths lived an old man named Baba Kwame. He was nearly 80, with silver hair neatly cropped close to his scalp and a smile that seemed untouched by time or sorrow. His mud brick home stood humbly beneath a large baobab tree. Inside, there were only the basics: 2 clay pots of water, a single fire pit for cooking, and a wooden cot in the corner that creaked with every breeze. Baba Kwame lived alone. His wife had died 3 decades ago, and his only son had gone to the city in search of work and never came back. The villagers often whispered, "Poor Baba Kwame, alone, forgotten." And yet he smiled like he carried no weight at all. That summer, Tunde, a 20-year-old boy from Lagos, arrived in the village to visit his grandfather. Tunde was broken from within. He had failed his engineering entrance exam. His best friend had betrayed his trust, and his parents constantly compared him to others. Every evening he sat alone, defeated and numb, silently questioning, "Why is life so cruel to me?" One morning, as Tunde walked past the baobab tree, he saw Baba Kwame feeding leftover millet to the birds and humming an old tune gently. His eyes sparkled with peace, and he smiled at every passerby, even the ones who ignored him. Intrigued, Tunde watched this ritual for days. Finally, one quiet evening, unable to contain his curiosity, Tunde approached the old man. "Can I sit with you for a while?" he asked hesitantly. Baba Kwame's face lit up. "Of course, my son. Come. The baobab tree gives the best shade at this hour." As they sat in comfortable silence, Tunde's mind raced with questions. How could this man, who had so little, seem so content? As if reading his thoughts, Baba Kwame spoke, his voice as warm as the setting sun. "You carry a heavy burden, young one. I see it in your eyes." Tunde, surprised by the old man's perception, found himself pouring out his troubles. He spoke of his failures, his disappointments, and the crushing weight of expectations. Baba Kwame listened patiently, nodding with understanding. When Tunde finished, Baba Kwame reached out and placed a weathered hand on the young man's shoulder. "Life, my son, is like the mighty Niger River. It has its calm stretches and its turbulent rapids, but it always flows forward." He paused, his eyes distant with memory. "I too have known great sorrow. I've lost my beloved wife, my son to the city's promises. I've seen harvests fail and friends depart. But I learned that joy is not the absence of sorrow, but the choice to see beauty in each day." Baba Kwame pointed to a small, colorful bird perched on a nearby branch. "Look at that weaver bird. It builds its nest with such care, knowing that the rains may wash it away. Yet it sings as it works. That is the secret, Tunde. To build, to sing, to live fully in each moment, regardless of what may come." As the days passed, Tunde found himself drawn to Baba Kwame's humble home. He helped the old man tend his small garden, listened to stories of village history, and learned to find joy in simple acts of kindness. One evening, as they shared a meal of fufu and a goosey soup, Tunde realized something had changed within him. The weight of his failures seemed lighter, his perspective shifted. He saw now that his life was not defined by a single exam or a friend's betrayal, but by the choices he made each day. Before leaving the village, Tunde asked Baba Kwame, "How do you stay so strong when life falls apart?" The old man smiled, his eyes twinkling. "My son, strength is not about never falling. It's about rising every time you fall. And rising becomes easier when you learn to dance in the rain." As Tunde boarded the bus back to Lagos, he carried with him more than just memories. He carried a new understanding of resilience, appreciation for life's simple joys, and the wisdom of an old man who had found peace amidst life's storms. Years later, when faced with challenges, Tunde would often think of Baba Kwame. He'd remember the old man's words, his unwavering smile, and find the strength to keep moving forward. For he had learned that true strength comes not from avoiding life's hardships, but from facing them with grace, hope, and an open heart. And so, in a bustling city far from that quiet village, Tunde lived. He built his dreams, sang his songs, and found beauty in each day. Just as a certain old man had taught him, beneath a baobab tree, in a village where wisdom whispered on the wind.